Hello guys, in today's lecture, oh sorry before I bounce in today's lecture. Welcome to Serious Code Lab. In today's lecture we'll be talking about precedent and associativity. So associativity and what we will understand what associativities and precedent mean. So we unlock the secret behind the expression order. So before we understand what is expression order, then we have to understand what precedent and associativities means. So when we understand what precedent and associativities means, we understand what how we can unlock the secret behind the expression order. So in this topic we will cover what operators precedent and associativities means. So we understand what is the meaning of precedence, and we understand the meaning of associativity. So now in the next one there we will different how different operators are prioritized in C++. So we know what operators are, or if you don't know it, we will bring you to we will bring that to your I'll bring that to your knowledge what operators are. So we understand how different operators are being prioritized, sorry, prioritized. Oh my god, I mean prioritized. Sorry about that. Oh, so we understand how those operators are being prioritized. I mean, in C++. So the roles of associative. So let's just go to the next one, which is the roles of associative from the left to right versus the left from the right to left in resolving operators with the same precedence. We will understand what associative means, whereby we will know how we can use it, how we can use associative by considering it left to right or right to left. So next one is we will practice example. We show some practical example how precedent and associative affect our expression outcome. So we will try and understand what that, how this how the examples, we will bring some example how precedent and associativities can affect our expression outcome. So now we understand which is the list. We understand the last one, which is common mistakes, how to avoid them by using parentheses strategically. So we understand we understand how we can use parentheses strategically with our operators in order to achieve our goal, in order to achieve our aim. So we will understand what all these things, we will understand everything. This is just a kind of a list of what we are going to be talking about. So just put that to your understanding. So next slide here we have the definition of precedent and associativities. So yeah, we have precedent operators. So operators precedents, or we can actually use precedent operators. This determines which operators is evaluated first when multiple operators appear in an expression. So operators which higher precedent are evaluated before those with lower precedent. So if you have some precedent like some operators has a kind of higher precedent, meaning that it tells which one should come first, which one should action should take place on it first. So that is how precedent works. So it's actually based on which operator should be operated first, which operation should be carried out first, and then this operator said which operator. So we bring this to our understanding that operator with the higher precedence, the one with the higher precedence, we will try and bring that to your understanding very soon. The one with the higher precedence will come first. The one with the higher precedence will come first. So what does the higher precedence mean? There's a table for it, that it has the list of the numbers or the value of the precedence we have in our C++ program. So we will check through the one with the higher precedent will come first before the one with the lower precedent. So that is what precedent means. Precedent, precedent evaluated first the operator with the higher precedent. That is what precedent means. Precedent means it evaluates the first operator that has the higher precedent. You understand that? The one with the higher precedent, that's what it means. So now let's go to associative. what does associative operators mean? So this determines the direction in which the operators of the same precedence levels are evaluated. You know, here we talked about the one which to start from, like the one which to evaluate first. So we said the higher one before the lower one. And when we come to associative, we are talking about direction. Which direction should we start from? Is it from the left to right or from the right to left? So most operators in civils usually start from the left associative. They are mostly left associative. So meaning they are evaluated from the left to the right, like from the left to example. If I should bring some box here to you, I'll just use this an example for you guys. So let's just bring this to. Let's say these are value, and having different operators in between them, or having different operators. So first of all, when we have precedent, it takes the one, it consider which one should be evaluated first. Which one should be evaluated first? Then the compiler says, since we have this idea of precedence, so when it has been been understand by our C++, so it has to say, oh, the one with the higher precedent, the operators with the higher precedent will come first. Let's say this is the higher precedent, the one with the higher precedent is in between this, so this one is going to come first. But let's go to associative. Associative tells that which direction should come from. Okay, let's say fine, this operator has the same operators with this one, they have the same thing, they have the same thing. But when it comes to associative, it says which where should we start from. So it states that we can start from the left to right or right to left. Or let's just bring to our understand that there are some operators, they are let's say we have multiplications, divisions, subtractions, like that. Those are operations. So there are some operators that are not maybe they're not precisely multiplication, division. They are different entirely. I will bring that to your understanding. I'll show you what that means. Those ones might start from the right to the left. So let's example now. Multiplication and division are always start from the left to the right. But there are some operators, they start from the right to the left. So we bring that to your understanding. And if you don't understand that, just carefully we will get through that. And then to bring that to your understanding, after knowing what precedent means, which consider the operator to evaluate first. And when we go to the associative, it tells which direction should we start from. Is it from the right or from the right to the left, or from the left to the right? So now let's go to and let's extend our idea knowledge to the library we have. Let's close this and let's go to our browser. Browser is closed. So I have I'm gonna use my Google and I'm gonna go to C++ preference, preferences. So C++ preferences should have, it has the libraries, it contains a lot of libraries for C++ programs, so it has a lot. If you want to learn more better on C++, there's something wrong with my internet. And okay, good. So now we have this, and we have precedent, which is this one here. Just click on it. So now we have the tables. So we have the table of the precedent, the operators, the descriptions, and we have the associativities, I mean. So now let's try to understand it. We said in precedent, we said the operators with the higher, I mean the precedent with the higher operators, the precedents with the highest operators. No, we said higher. These are precedents. These are precedents. Higher operators are the ones to come first. So let's say 17. So let's say when we use something like this, 17 is the highest of precedent. So whenever you are in your code, this comma definitely will come first because it has the one with the higher precedence, and it comes from the left to the right. So now to bring that to understanding, in precedent we have the operators of additions and subtractions. We have multiplication here. So multiplication here, it has the precedent of 5, and it starts from the left to the right. That means we'll be evaluating it from the left to the right. And also we have additions and subtraction, which is from the left to the right also, but that's the precedent of 6, which means 6 is more higher than 5. And when we talk about, not everything is from the right, not everything is from the left to the right. So there are some which are from the right to the left, which are this operator that we have here. They are from the right to the left. They don't come from the left to the right. So some are from the left to the right, and some are right to the left. So I hope you understand what that means. And something I want you to understand is that there is error in this library. There is error. These two things has a error. Actually, multiplication and division is more higher than addition and subtraction. But in this library here, we have 6, which is standing as, or which is seen as higher than 5. So there is error in this one. Let's try and check it out by itself. So let's try and check that out. Let's try and check that out. So let's try and check that out. Okay. Okay, I checked it here also. So now let's zoom this stuff. So we said multiplication has the same precedent as division, which we have known here. Multiplication, which is the multiplication here. We have multiplication. Multiplication has the precedent, which is 5, as division, which is stated here. But multiplication and division have the higher precedent than addition and subtraction, which is here. Multiplication and division has the higher precision than addition and subtraction. But in our library here, we have some kind of gibberish error and error that garbage is not supposed to be seen. Not supposed to be seen here, because here multiplication and division is higher than addition and subtraction. This is error. This fact is error. So to evaluate that, we follow this rule that we have here, which means that addition, which means multiplication and division is higher precedent than addition and subtraction. So we won't follow this rule we have here. This rule is not good. We can't follow this rule. But the only thing we can actually follow is this associative. Associative is from the left to the right. Associative is correct, but the precedent is wrong. The precedent we have here is wrong. So now let's go into our code and let's understand more on that. Let's try and my stuff is being copied, my template is being copied in my precedent and associative. So I can just open my command prompt. That's the developer's command prompt, or you can just open, yeah. So to navigate to the folder. Okay, so we have to type cd in order to navigate to our folder. Then we just drag and paste it there, and then you press enter, or just widen the screens and press enter key. Okay, so we're gonna press code and dot to open our folder. Okay, good. So now we have our precedent and associative folder opened. So we're gonna work on that now. So in a simple way, we're gonna do something very easy, and in order to understand what we have in our code. So so now we have int let's say value of 1, and we have 5 plus 6 times 5. Okay, so if we print this stuff here on the screen, so let's try and comply this, or before we comply that, let's try and calculate, or let's try and do some simple arithmetic, there. So let's just use our calculator to get some simple stuff there. From our code, so from our code here, we explain that, or we understand that precedent with the higher, the operators with the higher precedence comes first. Now let's say multiplication will come first. That means 6 times 5 will come first before 5 plus 6. So let's just do that now. So say 5 times 6, I mean 6 times 5, 6 times 5 will be 30. So if you have that here, let's comment that at 30 here. So now we have 30, and the next thing is what we have, 30 plus 5, that will be 35. So our result should be 35. So we're gonna have 35, 30 here plus the 5 we have here, so it's gonna be 35. So our result should be 35. If we should, take this to our run this, if we should run this by our compiler, the result should be 35. If we tried value 2 and we tried come on. I want to stop this. I don't want to use this compiler. Nope. I want to use this compiler. Anyway, I'll remove that. Oh my god, it's complying, it's still complying. I thought I succeeded though. Okay, fine. Anyway, since it's complying, I don't want to use the MSVC compiler. I just want to use the GCC compiler. Okay, so what I want to do is that in this case here, we're going to be doing something easy. But here let's just make it 15 in order to have a very good value. But here we will use float instead in order to have the so let's make this floats. Oh sorry, that was error, because it is not really inside of parentheses, error. So now let's try and, we won't remove it out anymore. Let's just try and run our code. So the result should be 30, or because 35 I mean. Okay, fine, the result is 35. Fine. So we have a kind of result that we follow the law of our precedent and associative. So now if we should look up to this library we have here, let's say we follow this, let's say this library here is the one that our compiler follows here, it should be different from this one here. So this is error, that library is error. So let's take it through. So let's say we have different value here. Let's say we have the value of value 1 1, and let's say 5 plus 6 and 5. But to make it different is that what I'm going to do is that I'm going to override the the value that is going to be here. So how can I do that? I will use my parenthesis. So when I use parenthesis is used to override precedent. So whenever you any value you use inside the precedent is going to be considered as the highest. Like it's going to consider it very high. So it overrides. I mean, it overrides the state of being having the state of having multiplication before addition. So in this one, the law has been eradicated. The law has been eradicated in this section. So what happened is that by using parentheses, we override the value that we should get here. So what we have to get, what we get here is that we're going to do 5 plus 6, 11. We're going to do 11 times 5. We get 55. So the value we're going to have here is going to be 55. So the value we're going to have here is going to be 55 because we have override the complier. We have override the complier by using parentheses. So by using parentheses here, it's considered this as the first value here, and it's considered as the first value. And this is not even math. This is program already. This is precedent and associative. So try and understand what that means. So before we do that, we will understand the value of. I mean, we'll try and explain this last one here in order to bring all those things together. So now let's try and do some arithmetics on this. So let's try and make some adjustments on this one there. So now we have the value of 15 minus 5 divided by 8 and 6. So let's try and do that here. So from our precedent and associative, we know that this division is considered as the highest, not from this Liebing anymore. This Liebing is typically error. This is error. So we are actually following this specific one here, which says multiplication and division is higher precedent than addition and subtraction. So we are doing division. Here. So we're gonna do 5 divided by 6. So 5 divided by 6, that will be some kind of 0.8. So because we are using float, we have the precision of our value. So we are having 0.8. So let's say we have 0.8. So 15 minus, oh my god, there's going to be kind of 15 minus 0.8. So we're going to get 14.2. If I guess 14.2 or more. So now let's try and check that through our value. So let's try and check. So we're going to get 14.2 or more. So now let's try and check all our answers and let's figure it out before the compiler does. So I can, okay, there's error here. So now I can run my code again and let's see what the compiler is going to give us. I don't want to run this definitely, but since I have the layer is property here, I will try and use it again. So you can actually use any of your compilers, and if you are running or any kind of code editor you are using, it works on any code editor. If you actually have your compilers being installed correctly, or you have your compilers installed with your code editors, maybe you are using Microsoft Visual Studio, so it will work actually with anyone's, as much as you have your compilers installed correctly. There is no problem with that. So now we should have the precisely answer we have here. We have 14.2, we have 55, and we have, and remember this value are 2, but here we are having different different value here. So now we're going to do something here. Okay, so let's try and run our binary. Let's take what's going on? Didn't I compile you? Okay, anyway, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove everything. Since it's not really seeing my stuff there, I'm going to remove everything. Let me remove every property I have here. 40 actually. So I'm gonna remove PDB, PDB. No, not you, no you, no you, no you, no you. Sorry about this. Remove code lab p pb. So remove main objects. So we're gonna remove main object too. Remove main object though. So we're gonna remove code lab and ilk. So we're gonna remove, I think that's all. So let's remove the both, everything, both the binary file too. Exo, I do not put remove in default. So now let's try and run our binary again. I want to use GCC. I bet you this should give us exactly what we have here. We should give us what we have here actually. Okay, taking my time actually. So sorry, there's even error here. There should be value 2. It should be like this, but the compiler has take over already. So that is how associate work and associate and precedent work. So let's get our binary for. So let's run. What's going on now? What's going on with my compiler? Oh, please excuse me. Like, I don't understand what's going on. $35. Why? Okay. I have maybe I have issue with my compiler. Then let me change the stuff. I'll be using cloud. Anyway, if the stuff is our program is happening like this, something is wrong with the compiler, I guess if you should copy this code and use our line compiler, let's try and use the line compiler first. I'll sort that out later. Let's try and use, in order to use less of your time, I'll sort this out line compiler. So I think we'll be using the online compiler, so I'll copy this code here and I'll move it here. So this is our main cpp file, and okay. So we're gonna do something like highlight all and paste what we have. Sorry. CPP. So we're gonna have a bit what we have here. So this is our code. So here it's gonna be C++ actually. No C. I mean C++. So now we have our code. We highlight and paste what we have here. So let's try and run our code and let's see the results. So good. We have 15 in the last 1 year, but something is really, if okay, it evaluates it. You know, we have the value of, sorry, in our programs here we have, let's try and check if the compile is okay. No, we have so first thing, when we did our calculator, we said 15. What we evaluate first is division. Since it's division operator, it's going to be like, okay, 5 divided by 6. Oh, sorry, I mean 5 divided by 6. It gives us 0.8. So it evaluates, it considers this 8 as 1, so it makes it 15 for us. So that's why it's giving us 15. So we have we have 0.8 and said 15 minus 0.8. It gives us 0. Or let's just try using 15 minus 15 minus okay. So because we have 3, it's evaluated to 15 back for us. No, it evaluates to 15 for us. So that is what the compiler does. That's what the online compiler does for us. Yet it makes the value of to 15. So I hope you understand that means. I hope you understand what precedent and associative means from the code. Let me check this one here, and same thing. Something is wrong with my compiler. Something is wrong with my compiler, but I will sort that out. And let's focus and use this online compiler first. And I hope you understand what's the associative and associativities and precedence means. So I hope you understand what associative and precedence means. So now when we let's try and understand this more or little more before we round up our this lecture. So here we have the value of, though we're going to be doing just simple basic example, which is addition and subtractions. So in order for you to understand more, you can go to the library and check and find out more. The library is not really correct. So the library even have some kind of gibberish error, which is this is error. So you can just try to understand more by you going further and understand the others. But this lecture we're going to be talking about just simple facts or the simple definition of precedent and associative. Now say precedent takes the higher. I mean, when we have this value here, so precedent will take advantages first. And what the precedence does is that it considers the highest operators here. Which is the highest operator? It is multiplication. When we go to the definition, it said multiplication and division has the higher precedence. Multiplication and division has the higher precedence than addition and subtraction. Which is than addition and subtraction. So what the compiler does is that it multiplies 6 times 5. It gives us 30. 6 times 5 is 30. And after that, what compiler does is that it takes 5 add 5 together with 30 and give us 35. But in this place here, it's different. The law is different. The law is that anything put in, or any value stored in, or operators used in parentheses is being override, should take advantages first before this. It's override multiplication here. So that's why we have different value here. So when we have 5 plus 6, and we have 5 plus 6 times 5, but here we use parentheses to separate or differentiate it. So now when we use this parenthesis, it makes this as the first or as the highest precedence. By overriding, by its overriding the first part, and make this 5 plus 6 and give us what? The value of 11 times 11 times 5 give us 55. So that is how the precedence works. So how do we consider the associative? Okay, fine. I said associative starts from the left to the right or from the right to the left. But in this associative we have here, we said it actually starts from the when we go to addition and subtraction, it said it starts from the left to right. So when we look up to our program here, we said left to right. Where's left to right? So this is our left actually, and to right. But due to the fact that this is higher, this one here is higher, or even if you have more value, let's try and create some. Let's just use this as the last part then to understand more about the associative. So we're gonna say 2 and let's just do something. 6 plus 5 times 3. 6 times 6 plus 3, 8 times 3 divide, or let's say minus 2 divided by 3. So now let's just try and do something within our CA, and let's just see how the compliers work. How the associatives work here. So before we get the answer, let's do some arithmetic. So let's try and do some things here. So now we have the value of 6, 8, 3, 2, and 3. So how do we solve this? The first thing that takes place is precedence. What does precedence does? It checks the highest. It checks the highest operator. Which of these is the highest operator? It is multiplication and division. So this is multiplication here. This is multiplication here, and this is division. So, but we have left to right. In our associative, we have left to right. So where is left? So left usually starts from the left is it. So we're going to do from this side to this side. So this is what we're going to do. So to get this our accurate answer, we start from the left to right. So we have 8 times 3, 24. So that is 24. That's what 24 is stored in. Let's try and have some kind of notepad here. So in order to store our value, so we have 24. Sorry, something is wrong. I think something is wrong anyway. So we have 24. That's the value we generated from this side. We have 24. No, don't take over the screen. So we have 24, and because we are starting from the left to the right, and after we have 24, next thing take place is that 2 minus 3. 2 divided by 3. 2 divided by 3. 2 divided by 3. 0.6666. So let's say 0.6. 0.6. But this is what we're going to do. Let's try and use float, the value of float, or the value of double. Let's use double. Let's use double or float, anyone. So by using double, we get the precisions, or it will evaluate it for us. So now we have 0.6, and after we do that, next thing take place is that since we have made 8 times 3, we're going to do 6 plus the value we have here, which is 24. That is from the left to the right, because we have to left to the right and left to the right, left to the right. Highest precedent. I hope you get that. So next thing is what? Associative. Next thing is addition, which is the next one. So left to the right associative, left to the right. So now we're going to do is we're going to add 6 plus the value we have here, which is 24. So we're going to add 6 plus 24. That's 30. So our value that should be here now should be 30. So after we have 30, our 30 is being stick there, and we have this value we have here. We're gonna have 30 minus minus the value I have left here. I have here, which is 0.6. So 30 minus 0.6 or 0.66, I don't know. Let's say 0.6, 29. So let's just consider as 29. It should be 29 or close to 29. So let's check it. It should be 29 or close to 29. Now let's try and run the value, or before we do that, let's try and declare or print that to the screen. So I'm gonna have 22. So now this is good, and now let's try and run this code again. Online sport is taking your time. 30. Yeah, I told you guys. I said it's gonna be close or it's gonna be exactly. So it's gonna be nice. 29.4. But now it's been summed to 30. So that is how it works. So it brings from the left. Associative starts from the, it decides which direction to start from, and precedent checks the highest operator to evaluate any value. So I hope you understand this lecture. So that's everything I want you to understand about precedent and associative, which is very important. And one thing you should understand is that or before that, let me try and bring this to. So now let's try and summarize this. So parentheses decide which operator is evaluated for. So which operators should be evaluated first, which is addition, subtraction, multiplications, or whatever operators could be from the list we have here. Whatever operators could be. Let's check in on the operators. Whatever operators could be. We check which one should come first. And it said it decides on the highest. It decides on the highest. It says the highest should come first. So when we go back to our further here, so the highest should come first as precedent. So that's what precedent means. And associative consider the direction. When the compiler sees out for the precedent, it checks out for the associative, and associative works on direction. So when we go back to the further here, we have direction. So direction, the associative starts from direction, which is right to the left, or to the left to the right, right to the left or left to the right, right to the left or left to the right. So that's it. So precedent are evaluated. Understanding one concept helps you predict how the process will evaluate complex expression and avoid potential mistake when combining operators. So now we have this kind of understanding before the compiler does. So when you understand this precedent and associative, you will know the result of your expression even before the compiler does. So by using our calculator, we know our exactly result. We know the result that we are supposed to get. We know the result that we are meant or we will find out to get. So that is one of the advantages of knowing what precedence and associative means. And to bring this to your understanding, it is better to make an intent in your code as possible by clearly using parentheses. To indicate which operators you want to be done first. Now there is this kind of there is issue sometimes. There issue occurs sometimes whenever you are doing something like this. Whenever you are having a kind of expression like this, like now you want to have this kind of expression that you want to make this one to come first. Example, if we don't know about parentheses, let's say this is a comment. If you don't know about parentheses, so in order to get the value of 55, we will just be getting the value of 35, and you'll be confused. What is wrong? How can I solve this? But when you have this kind of idea of parentheses, you have this kind of intention like, oh, which one should I make first? You can either make you can either let, even if I don't want to go for that, you can try it on yourself as an example, or as in practice you can just try it with yourself by using this double and use your parentheses to decide which one to start, which one you want to work on first as president, which one you want to decide the first president first. But here we just do some simple one. We have just 5 and 6 inside parentheses, and we consider here this one as the first one. So anyone you put in your parentheses, it sees that as the highest president. Your compiler sees that as the highest president. I mean, you are trying to override the compiler by using parentheses. So when we have this kind of long expression here, and you are trying to decide which one should evaluate first in order to obtain, or when we have this 29.4, we can actually, which is 30, let's say this is 30, so which is 30, and let's say we want to get another value, we can, by using our parentheses, we can decide like, oh, let's say this one, and let's say minus, and this one should be evaluated first, and this one should be evaluated first. Anyone you use your parentheses with is going to be evaluated first. So try and understand that to achieve or to take over the results of your operators, you have to know how to use your parentheses in order to decide which value should come first. So the most important thing I want you to understand is that the president is when, I mean, it's consider which operators should come first. Which operator should come first, and how does it decide that? It checks the one with the highest precedence, which we have here. The one with the highest precedence, which we have here, and these are the operators. So that's the start. And when we go to the associative, it mentioned that which direction should we start from. Okay, now if I have these operators, which is the highest, which direction should we start from? Here we have most of these values start from the left to right. But when we get to this program like this, we are going to be using from the right to the left. So try to understand that. So we're going to be understanding more in our next program. So keep in touch, and thank you very much for staying all through this.